Film development hell, day 61. Data management, storage, and backup of a feature documentary is the name of this video. Why? Well, my name is Deborah Richards, and I am an independent film director from Las Vegas. And recently I completed my second feature film. It's called Shaken and Stirred, The Story of Flair Bartending. You can check it out in the links below. It's actually available to rent or purchase right now. But that, in actual fact, is the director's cut. And what we need to work on right now is the Amazon cut, because in a couple months after its festival run, it will be on Amazon.com. And before we can do that, I need to do some data management. Let me bring you guys up to speed. When you make a documentary, there is just a ton of data. And right now, I have to, since finishing the movie, I've got to wrangle that data. I've got to, it's spread across a couple of hard drives. It's backed up across another couple of hard drives, and one of them isn't working properly. And so before we get into the weeds with this Amazon cut that I have to, this is really the next big thing on my list of things to do. But before I can get to that Amazon cut, I have to figure out this data management, storage, the backup, and kind of figure out some solutions for all of that. So today I'm going to be focused on that. But as you guys know, nothing happens without coffee. So what do I mean when I say data management? Okay, so if you're anything like me, when you start a project, it starts off super clean with the project name. But by the time you get to the end of a movie, some few years later, you have files with insane names like final version underscore final version underscore 9.9 underscore final version for release this time. That kind of thing. And I feel like even though you start every project, or most people start every project with the best intentions of keeping a clean file and folder structure and hierarchy, I think it's just human nature that when you've been working on a project for a really long time and it becomes really dense with data, and as you approach the finish line and it becomes a bit of a sprint on that last mile of the marathon, that's when things get chaotic and there is a less attention and detail spent on the infrastructure of your data management. And, you know, I'm certainly guilty 1000% of that. So what I want to do is actually open up Shaken and Stirred, our feature, in the programs that it's been created in, and actually start with the first iterations, because my workflow is I edit in Premiere, but then I bake and blade out to Resolve, and I color in Resolve, then I export out from Resolve. So if I'm going to go into these projects and clean up file names and folders and get rid of things that we don't need, then I have to kind of backtrack it and go first into Premiere and start draining the swamp in Premiere. And then once I've cleaned that out and I've cleaned out and tidied up everything in Resolve, then we can look at how much disk space we can save. Because currently, let me show you what we're dealing with, because this is bananas, right? We filmed Shaken and Stirred over a couple years, and so there's a lot of data, okay? So we have these two drives are essentially, or rather the two drives with the lights on, this one and this one, that is Shaken and Stirred. These are both G drive, G RAID, I think, or whatever, G drive. They are 10 terabytes each. That's right, 10 terabytes each. And each one of them represents half of the film. like in terms of entire content. So we also have another two 10 terabyte drives here that are supposed to be the backup drives for Shaken and Stirred, but one of them, this guy on the left, has been getting kind of rattly and the damage is corrupt on it. So I'm not sure as a drive if it can be saved, rescued. I'm not sure if we have to order another drive. I don't want to order another drive because that's another $600 out of the budget that we want to be accumulating sales at this point, not spending money. So I don't want to spend the money on it. If it were up to me, I would delete all of the files and the folders of takes that we didn't use. But when we had a little team vote on it with our co-producers, our production partners, I was outvoted, and the team wants to keep every single pixel that we shot.
Stop that.
What?
Okay.
Why? Why are you laughing and saying stop? That's what happened.
Okay.
Did it not?
Every single pixel, please.
It's true. It's true. There's a lot of data, and we want to preserve every pixel. So, so the first thing I got to do is go into. You've got headphones on. I thought you weren't listening. First thing, the first thing that I got to do is go into Premiere and go into Resolve and start cleaning up. I'm not even sure what this is going to look like because these are big projects and they're very iterative. So let's start with Premiere and I'll share my screen and we can see what's there. Welcome to the wonderful world of data management. As you can see, I have two hard drives with everything that is shaken and stirred. These are both 10 terabyte hard drives and they should both look like the Shaken and Stirred admin, which has everything from marketing to contracts to licensing to all that kind of stuff. And then Shaken and Stirred the movie, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's all the files for the movie, the program files, the content, everything. Now, it's spread over two drives. So on the second drive, as you can see, I've got way more folders than over here. And in fact, there should just be these two folders, Shaken and Stirred Admin 2 and Shaken and Stirred the Movie 2. So all of these folders and files I have to throw into one of these two things, then open up the movie in Premiere to see if there's anything missing that needs to be reconnected from moving this around. And then I have to do the same in Resolve because Resolve was actually the last stop in the pipeline as I colored and exported out of Resolve. So I've got to open that up and then, reconnect media. And then what I'm doing here with the master drives is also what I have to do inside of Premiere and Resolve with those folders and file structures so that everything is clean and tidy, so that if for any reason in 6 months' time we need to open up Shaken and Stirred and do something, it all makes sense and it's not a scattered mess like what you can see here. So that being said, we're just going to throw these in and see what happens. Affiliate program, we're going to throw that into admin. Archival footage, that's probably part of the movie. Bumper, what bumper are these? SAS Bumper Director's Cut? Oh, that's content for the movie. For sure that's going in the movie. EB SAS PSD, what is this? What's EB? Oh, Eventbrite. So that's going to go in the admin folder. Final color, that very much sounds like something in the movie folder. What is this?
Las Vegas was once
Oh, this is fun.
Slayer of Bartend Rebirth. Past member Lindsay Palumbo. How are you guys?
Doing great, thanks. Good morning.
Good.
That's fun. That's definitely going in admin. Interviews. Ooh, that is footage, so that's definitely going in Shaken and Stirred the Movie 2. Logos for emails, admin, post-release Facebook headers. Now this is interesting because I have the same thing in here under Facebook art. So let's see, that's this, right? Post-release headers. Post-release headers. Let's see what the difference is. Oh, these say, oh, this has the master in it. So these are probably, let's have a quick look. Let's see, Tom. Looks good. Let's see how is that different from this one. You know what? I bet it's something to do with the size. Let's have a quick look at that. The size on this is 820 by 312. And the size on this is 820 by 312. So it's not the size. Let's put both of these in here and we'll deal with that later. Post-release FB headers. Let's give them both the same color so we know something's up. Cool. We could go by the date, but I don't want to trust that. So we can come back to that, but now we don't need this in here, so we can move that to the trash. We have another one of these WAVs. That's going to go in the Shaken Stirred movie too. Premiere pre-roll. That's probably in administration because that is marketing. Same with these QR codes. What is this scrap PSD? Step and repeat from the Premiere. Brings back good memories. And the PDF of it. And the Photoshop big file of it. Foo Studios, that was definitely the movie. West Palm Beach, that was definitely the movie. Zoe.
Have you heard of Flair bartending?
Oh, this was when Lorenzo was on the...
Lorenzo Garcia has been Flair bartending for years now.
That is so cool. Okay. That was one of the stars of the movie doing a TV spot in Texas, I believe. So... we are in good shape. This looks good. This looks good. Now, let's try and open up the project in Premiere and see how much Premiere complains. It's going to say, I can't link this project, and I can't link this project. I can't do it, Captain. Okay, so I told it where one file is. And based on that logic, it is going to go through the rest of the folders and connect all these other files, hopefully. Let's see how good you are, Adobe. I know you're good. Time for coffee. Okay, it looks like it connected all the files correctly on that for Premiere. So, oops, media pending. Let me see what this is all about. No, it's fine. Let's save this for now. We're going to close this, and then we're going to do the same process in Resolve. We're going to open it up and reconnect the files. Okay guys, as expected, here we are in Resolve, and there is bunches of missing thingies here. So, let's have a look. We'll start at the back end. Open. Fingers crossed. I don't think Resolve finds files and folders as well as Premiere does. Let me know what you guys think. Now, these are all things I know are no longer in use. So, let's cancel that, because as far as the movie's concerned, if we jump around here, it should all be... looks good, guys. I don't think there's anything really missing here. At least at the top level, we have our 2 drives. Let's figure out how much data we're actually using. Or how much data we have and how much space we're using. So as you can see, the capacity on each of these is 10 terabytes. This one has 10 gigs available. And this one has close to a terabyte. 988 gig available. So, but this one is really, really full, and that's not optimal for this drive. I think before we do anything, let's do a quick little bit of first aid on these discs to make sure they're in good health. So I'm just going to use my disk utility on them, and I'm just going to run a first aid check. Might take a beat because they're pretty big. Cookie, what are you doing? The next thing I would like to check is the drive that is not working. As I was telling you guys earlier, Shaken and Stirred is on these two drives over here with the lights on. And we also have two drives over here that are the backups, two 10 terabyte drives. I can't speak today. And one of these drives, last time we turned it on, it was making some pretty bad sounds, this guy here. So let's turn it on and see if it's being cranky, if it connects. Let's see what happens. It's sounding good now, but not too long ago we tried turning it on, couldn't access the data. It was making a lot of rattling noises. Did it just mount? Here are my 3 screens for signs of life. I think it's trying to mount, which is a good sign. But it did let us down twice. Oh, interesting, it did mount. Okay, here it is. Wow. It seems to be working. What a miracle. Patrick,
What?
we have a miracle.
Let's see.
The hard drive that was rattling around and making really terrible sounds and everything,
Yeah,
it's working again.
that's good. That's really good.
So, guys, it was only a month ago when we turned on that drive and it was literally trying to turn on and making rattly sounds, and we couldn't access the data from it. And now I just turned it on and it's working. This is blowing my mind. This is a blessing because it's like $600 to replace. Was it $600 when you researched how much they were?
Yeah, it's $600.
$600. This might be a Christmas Day miracle on May 20th, a Tuesday. Okay, I'm turning on the second backup drive to make sure that I didn't get them mixed up and make sure that the second one isn't the cranky one. No, that mounted straight away. Okay, guys, we're in pretty good shape. That's amazing news. Okay, so both of these drives are on. And you can see both of them mounted. We've got Shaken and Stirred Master 1, Shaken and Stirred Master 2. Then we've got Backup 1 and Backup 2. So the crazy news is the 2 backup drives are incredibly out of date in terms of backup. So we have to do a full backup, and that could take a few days. But before I do that full backup, I certainly want to go into Resolve at a minimum and clean up some of the data there. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm absolutely blown away that this drive is working again. This is incredible news. Okay. We're in Resolve. So what am I talking about when I talk about data management? I'll show you specifically. If we go into here, into our media pool, this is the master folder. And everything in here is just out of folders, not organized, just one hell of a mess. So this is exactly where we're going to start. And again, even these folders are all of this is a mess. So let's clean it up together. So we have master, audio, timelines, video, trailer. But if I go into the master, where is this audio folder? Oh, I see, there it is. I see. I'm not as used to Resolve as I am with Premiere. So if we click it on folder, will it put all the folders together? Yeah. So there we can see these 4 folders are obviously these 4 folders, right? If we click trailer, it's the same as that. Yes. I wonder why there isn't a little triangle there on trailer. Anywho's, okay, so yeah, what a mess. In the master, can I create, oh, it's called a bin as well in here. Oh, why don't they call them folders in Resolve? It's so weird. And
What do they
Premiere.
call 'em?
Bins.
Yeah,
In
bins.
Premiere and Resolve, they call them bins.
Bins.
Is it because of, is that a hangover from, film terms, like with reels, they put them in bins, I'm guessing? I'm guessing that's what it's from. But it's 2025, guys, come on. Language can change. So anyway, what are we going to call this? We're going to call this content. And we'll put this in on master. Why don't we get a little triangle there? It's so weird. Okay, let's make some new bins in here. New bin. And we can call this bake and blade. So essentially what I do out of Premiere is I bake and blade, which means I export ProRes 4444, really high quality, maximum bit depth, export out of Premiere. I bring it into Resolve, and then I auto detect the scene cuts, and then those shots is what I color. So when I have picture lock in Premiere is when I migrate to Resolve. And what am I doing here? What am I doing with my life? So content, we have Bacon Blade, which is a folder here. Yes. Bacon Blade, excellent. And then another folder here, we're going to call this Renders. Renders? No. We're going to call this Timelines, and we're going to move this out of here. Oh no, it's already there. Let's undo. We already have a Timelines. Audio can go in content. Trailer can go in content. Video can go in content. So we've got master, timelines, and content. That looks more manageable right off the jump. Okay, we've got collab timelines, original timelines, and final cut. That's pretty tidy. That's pretty clean. Collab timelines would be from when the composer Roland and I were working on the collaborative tools within Resolve. Deb's color timeline, and then final cuts. Movie, trailer, email, final cuts. Okay, this could be a little bit. This is all a little bit messy. Collab timelines. I wonder why doesn't it have a little arrow under there? Like, you know when I click on that and I've got final cut and it's got an arrow so I can see all the things in there. Collab has things in there. Why can't? Don't understand. If you're an expert at Resolve, tell me why there isn't a little arrow here that I can do a little drop down and see these things, because that doesn't make sense to me. Collab timelines folder, original timelines folder, and then this final cut. These should all probably be out of this and just in these timeline things. We've got collabs, originals, final cut, final cuts. Okay, this final cut's got nothing in it, so let's delete that. Final cuts. Let's just put the bunk in. Oh, where did the bunk go? Oh, interesting. This only lists folders. If you put something outside of it, it doesn't list it there. Interesting. let's throw this in original. So Final Cuts. See what I mean? This is a mess, right? Because we've got content here, which is, what is this? Okay, this can go into content because it's obviously a content, and same with this WAV file. Obviously in content, we'll clean that up later. We have 16, 17, let's number this by sequence here. I think we can probably renumber these as well because there's no reason to start a folder in 16. Oops, let's go back to our media pool. I guess we can't just, where's rename? Can I just not click on it? There we go, yes. I get so confused because I'm always jumping around between, different programs, and they all kind of work the same, but they don't. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm still in awe that drive is working.
That's crazy. I love it.
That's crazy. It's like the Millennium Falcon of hard drives. So this one is, hold on, let's click. Let's see, it should be what it says in the box. Shaken and Stirred, Director's Cut, Stereo, TVOD1, which means it has the bumper. Copy, why is that a copy? That is interesting. So it has the bumper on the end. I don't think it needs to be called copy. I think it can just be. This is the 5.1 exhibition, 3 stereo exhibition, and 4 LCR exhibition. If you don't know what that is, that's 5.1 surround sound, stereo sound, and LCR is left, center, and right. So you put everything on the left and right, and you just put the audio in the dialogue in the center. Okay, what is this? Email clips. Yeah, this is fine for now. Again, these numbers are a little whack, but it's fine for now because this is for our email campaign. We've got a couple trailers in here. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that is the official trailer, I believe. Yeah. Final Cut, yeah. And then what's this Colby trailer? Oh, this is a trailer with Colby at the intro. You end up, as time goes on, you end up with a bunch of different marketing assets inside of your master film project, because to create these, you're drawing from those finalized assets of the movie. Unless you bake and blade the movie, it's just easier to draw from within the master project. Does that make sense, guys? So all your trailers will end up being in your master project. What is this movie? Oh, okay, so this has a lot of timelines, but it also has a lot of content. So I'm gonna just move all of the content out real quick into the content and just keep timelines in here. I believe what I'm doing is correct. Yes, I think so. I can move all of that into content. So now, these are all just timelines, which is great. And we have Bunk. If you're wondering what Bunk is, I always use Bunk as just a scratch pad, like a notepad, so where I can throw stuff, and anything that is in Bunk, I can delete, because I know it's in Bunk, so I can scribble over it or whatever. So we have collab timelines, which makes sense. We have original timelines. We have the movie. We got 2 Bunk timelines. We don't need 2 Bunk timelines. We can delete one of them. Sure, it's Bunk. We have the movie, which we worked through, then the trailer, email, and then the final cuts. That is looking a lot cleaner. We might as well clean up these two. Just, oops. Just on a rename, you know? 1, 2, oops. So this is just data management, right? We're just cleaning this all up before we do the massive backup of the movie, which we have to do. We haven't done a backup of the movie in a very, very, very long time. And before we can even do the backup of the movie, to be honest, we've got to create some space on these drives. So guys, here's a perfect example of one of the files that I'm looking for to get rid of, to clean out the hard drives. As I was cleaning out and going through audio here, I came across this bit of audio. And I was like, I don't recognize that. And then as I was thinking about it, it's actually the guide audio for our composer for the trailer, because I put in some guide audio, stock audio that some stock score that I liked, and then he based his whole trailer on that. And obviously we don't need this anymore whatsoever. So let's reveal this in the Finder, and this is in the Finder, and then I can do a get info, and I can see exactly the path for where this is. It's in Master 1, Shaken and Stirred, Content, Trailer, Cinematic. So
tiny files.
well, enough tiny files makes a difference. I mean,
I was doing that too.
unfortunately, I gotta start somewhere. So any one that I see, I gotta whack it on the head. What did it say? First, was it this? No. Content trailer. Okay. It was in Master 1, content trailer. Ahaha. Cinematic trailer intro. I'm guessing it's all this. Yeah. Okay, so that can totally go to the trash. I wonder if this is probably the same thing, right? Yeah, exactly the same thing. Move that to the trash. We'll leave the rest in here for now. But that's two things that we don't need. So, okay, so it's now showing it red because the path has changed, but we can just delete that. So, audio, final master stems, B-roll audio, dialogue, NatP score, sound effects, stems, sync music. That looks good for now. And then video, oh look, these two WAVs can be deleted because that's some of the things that we just deleted right now. As for these credits, I think the best thing to do to check that we have the credits is let's get rid of some of these timelines, and we will open up the finals. Oh no, not audio, timelines, final cuts, and as long as the credits are in these final cuts, then we're in good shape. So let's have a look. Yep, they're there. They are there. They are there. Yep, and they're all there. So the credits are in good shape, so I don't think we need that. Where was it? This. We can delete that. Cool. Now there's a bunch of audio files in here, so I'm just going to drag them over into the audio folder just to do some big kind of swooping cleanup. Swooping? Sweeping. Okay, let's throw all that into the audio. Now if I open that up, that's a mess. We can clean that up. But at least this is a little bit cleaner. I believe all of these shots, these are all part of the Bacon Blade. That's the bumper. Compound, credits. Maybe we should do a separate folder specifically for credits. I think so. Content. Create a new bin and call this credits. Because that credits can get a little crunchy. So let's have a look. We have this. Let's throw that in credits. First head, compound clip. Documentary main thingy. Ooh, that's for the trailer. Drafts of what? That's just audio, so I think we'll just put that in audio and get rid of the drafts folder. EPS PNG, that looks like credits. Put that in the credits. Final clips. Wow, these are all missing. What are these? What is this?
Oh, did you know someone in England ordered a shaken and stirred T-shirt?
Oh, amazing.
Do you know
Yeah.
Let me see. Maybe you know him. Robert Stevens.
I don't know Robert Stevens, but
That's like the most common name ever.
Robert Stevens, if you're watching, thank you for buying the Shaken and Stirred t-shirt. And if anyone else wants to buy merchandise, please click on one of the links below. You can buy one of these nice 1905 film hats at our store, 1905films.com. Okay guys, I'm looking in pretty good shape. Let's take a look. I've managed to get inside of Resolve. I've managed to get this all down to timelines with original, collab, movie, Final Cuts, trailer, email clips, and then the other major folder is the content folder, and here everything is neatly in its home. So we are in good shape there on this phase. So the next phase I have to do is literally go into the hard drive and look for files and folders and things that are just no use and not being used, and things like maybe we got some stock footage and threw it in as a placeholder, but now that we've shot what needs to go there and the movie's done, we can now trash the stock footage, that kind of thing. So I'm going to dig into these files and let's see what grubby, nasty files that we don't need I can get rid of and make some space in this hard drive. Right now, I'm copying over a bunch of files from our Shaken and Stirred hard drive onto a drive for Patrick, because he's going to need them for marketing materials. So that's going to take some time, and I figured while that's doing its thing, now would be a good time for me to catch up on my punch list of all the things I gotta do, and it's a little scary. My list just got really long. So let me show you guys. Okay, starting off with, I still have to QC the Shaken and Stirred for the Nevada Women's Film Festival. I'm going to do that on, I'm actually going to watch it on quadruple time to get it done. Then I have to upload the MOV and the SRT. I have to send that to Nevada Women's Film Festival, and then we can finally be done with that task. I know it's dragging. I'm sure you guys are as sick of it as I am, but it will be worth it at the festival. The next thing I gotta do, which is kind of next priority, which is what I'm doing right now, is the data management. Now, once I've cleaned up some space and everything, I can then do a backup. Then I can start working on the Amazon cut of Shaken and Stirred, which is going to take like maybe a week, maybe less. Then I got a bunch of little admin things to do. I got to check in with Dean, see how he's doing with the affiliate program. Let's have a look. I've got some contracts to read. I've got to send ZB some materials. So yeah, that's basically everything and anything that I got going on in the next foreseeable future. To be honest, all of that will clear off my list in the week. But right now, this is long overdue, making sure that the movie is secure. There's a saying in data management that data doesn't exist unless it exists in 3 places. Ideally, you need to have your main files on a drive on your desk, a copy of them in a file safe, and then another copy, and that file safe should be off property, and then another copy of them in the cloud. But I'm not sure if anybody's got time for all that. There are issues with each one of those things. So right now, at the very least, we need to have a duplicate set of drives. So as soon as I've cleared some space, I think I'll be ready for this massive backup. And this backup is literally going to take a couple days. So this is going to be interesting. But I don't think it's too late for coffee in the day. I think we still have time for coffee. So I'm going to get more coffee. This is what I'm talking about when I say watching pixels dry. Look at this. Copying some files. And I have to... Can you guys read that? It just says wait 14 minutes, basically. So yeah, I'm just bashing this data into shape before I do this massive backup. And it's not very glamorous, but it has to happen. It is a beautiful day in Las Vegas. It is about 5 p.m. and Patrick has stepped out to go get us some lunch. But I'm still deep in this data management. As I've been moving folders around and clearing things out, I opened up Resolve and there's 3 files missing. So I'm trying to do a deep search, but it is like literally searching all the folders, and it says here searching disks. So it's searching all the folders on, oh my gosh, there's like, quite honestly, there's about 8 drives plugged into my computer right now. So it's about 3,400 folders in, but that number's got to be in the hundreds of thousands. So I'm just going to let it cook and see what happens. And yeah, take a break for a minute, because I think we're in good shape though. We're kind of getting to the end of this data management cycle. And then the next big thing will be actually duplicating and backing up the drives. And I think that might take a couple days, so we might have to break it up into some chunks. But I'm going to let it cook and check back on it in a minute. So this drive, it is 10 terabyte capacity, and it has 152 gigabytes available. When we started the day, I think it only had 10 gigabytes available. So that's fantastic. Now let's check the other drive. This drive, when we started the day, this had roughly about a terabyte available, and it still has roughly about a terabyte available, which is great. This is great, guys, because now both drives are completely clean and ready to back up. So I just gotta drag, drop folders, and it will back up, and it's going to take a few days. So I think I'm going to do it in a couple different little chunks. But that's about it for today. I'm just waiting for Patrick to bring back lunch. It's nearly 6 p.m. here in Vegas. And thank you for being with me. If you like this long-form content, you know what to do. Smash that circle over there to subscribe. Hit the like. It really helps out. I will see you all tomorrow for more Film Development Hell. Peace.